I don't watch a whole lot of the LPL, but when I do, I seem to be consistently impressed. The playoff semifinals happened yesterday between JDG and Top Esports, so I want to take a look at the Game 2 draft, which I believe was hard won by Top Esports. Even though they lost the game, they used great draft strategy, smart pick orders, and an actual R5 counter for top lane. Let's take a look. JDG first pick Azir, which is very typical at this point. Strong scaling and range. Now, we want them to build a comp around similar themes, so let's hope they do that. Top first rotate Kalista and Corki. Now in terms of draft approach, this is good conceptually. They countered what enemy just picked, even though Corki is less of an Azir counter and more of an Azir match, and they picked the next OP in line. Kalista has been highly prized for a while, which is especially understandable given the LPL's aggressive playstyle. This means that her early power will probably be taken advantage of, which several other regions often don't do well at all. Anyways, I said conceptually this rotation is good, but these champions are very counterintuitive in theme. Kalista is strongest in early and mid-game skirmishes, while Corki wants to scale and play with his ranged poke. The Corki does end up being the only out-of-place pick in their comp, and it's not game losing by any means. They really just picked it to match scaling and range into the Azir. JDG second rotate Varus and Neeko, which is okay. The Varus I like because it matches themes with Azir while also outranging and outscaling Kalista. The Neeko is just weird to me as a support pick. It doesn't have the gold income to do very much damage, and picking an AP support like this can often make your ADC useless in turn. Top R3 Xin Zhao, which is good I think. It's good because he's the strongest early AD jungler available. This indicates that top is going to play hard around bot lane and probably set up a dive early to set the Varus behind. You may be thinking that it's an unnecessary blind pick, and they should have just answered support here. But no, I think it's actually a necessary blind pick. If top picked support on R3, Xin would surely be banned in second phase, so they want to secure the pick now, and they know it's unlikely that their ideal support counter will be banned. This is very smart drafting from top, understanding pick order. It seems like a pretty basic concept in theory, but you'd be surprised at the amount of teams that would just autopilot and make support pick there. Very well done by Top Esports. They R4 Leona, which considering their team identity is very good. It just wants to go in with Kalista and Xin, and is again playing for that early game bot dive that is fairly predictable at this point. She offers good CC and frontline as well. Honestly, I think this champ is pretty underpicked right now, because she might just be a better version of Nautilus. Anyways, JDG completely ruined their comp with a Rek'Sai Lee Sin rotation to round out. Now look at their first three picks. Aside from the Neeko, they want to play with scaling range and have enemies come into them, which top will be. Now they have split themes and picked three champions that want to hard dive in, two of which fall off a cliff by the time Azir and Varus are relevant. Complete dysfunction in this draft from JDG, and it will show how much trouble they have in executing teamfights. And Top Esports make my heart sing by actually legitimately using R5 for a real top lane counter pick. Now, if there were a counter to Rek'Sai top, Urgot would probably be it. They picked it in game 1 as well, and it worked very well, so I love this. I'm very relieved to see a team use R5 for a real counter pick instead of autopilot picking Gnar or some crap like that. Now, even though top used good draft strategy and has the more on-theme comp, there are two big problems. First, they've picked a full early game comp aside from Corki. They have to execute near perfect in the first 20 minutes of the game to have a chance at winning. By 20 minutes, if they aren't 3 dragons and 5k gold up, they'll probably just lose to the superior scaling of Azir and Corki. The other problem is the theme counter. Top is really dive heavy and short ranged, which Azir and Varus both thrive into. Teamfights themselves, even though top will be on the same page in terms of champion themes, it will be extremely hard to play into those two champions, and it showed. Thanks for watching, see you next time.